Hey, what's up guys, Jordan here. So today I wanted to talk about something where a lot of people have actually asked me about. This is both family, friends, and just people on the internet as well. If you haven't been following me in the last couple years, I actually did a study abroad in Japan. So I lived in Japan from what was it, late August of 2018, and I came back in early August of 2019, so just 1 year basically. And I did my last year of university there, so I did 2 semesters, which is about 10 months, and then like the extra months were just traveling. I did my last 2 semesters in Tokyo, Japan. I went to study at Waseda University, which is one of the most famous private universities in Japan. The experience was super good. I really loved living in Japan, living abroad. The question that you asked a lot is, will I go back to Japan? Like, will I go back to live there? Or do I plan on living there? So the answer to that question is pretty difficult to answer because there's two parts of it, which is, do I want to go back to Japan? And can I go back to Japan? To answer the first part, yes, I do want to actually go back to Japan. I really enjoy the culture there, the food, the lifestyle, and like the Tokyo, the city. I really liked it. I live in like pretty much a countryside, and it's like even like where I live, like Vancouver, is even more countryside than what a countryside in Japan is like. It feels like, or like the smaller cities are like. I just find it really boring where I'm currently situated in, and so like I just really enjoyed Japan in whole. I would say specifically Tokyo because Tokyo is definitely like it's a metropolis city. So there's always something to do, lots of events going on, super bustling, and I just really like how that lifestyle is. But don't get me wrong, I don't just like that kind of lifestyle because it would be similar in like America, like New York, for example, but the culture is totally different in Japan. And when I first went to Japan, I didn't have any culture shock at all, like what some people would normally get. I felt pretty aligned with actually the way of life there as soon as I got there. And so, yeah, I felt like living in Japan really suited my personality. And so, yes, I definitely would love to live in Japan someday. So the next part to the question is, can I go back to Japan? So in terms of expenses, without getting into the nitty gritty, I would say, of course, living in Tokyo is going to be the most expensive area you can live in all of Japan. If you were to live in like a countryside or a smaller city, like Haomori, for example, or something like that, it's going to be significantly cheaper, of course, but you do want to live in like a city like Tokyo, Osaka, um, Kyoto even. So like those cities are going to be costing more, but if you compare it to like other like high cost living places, like Vancouver is the most, like I believe it's the most expensive place to live, city to live in Canada. Or if you were to live in popular places in the States like Los Angeles, New York, those places are all super expensive, and they're even more expensive than Tokyo actually. So like even though Tokyo is the biggest area to live in Japan, it's actually not that bad if you're comparing it to the global expensive cities. If you're comparing it that way, then it's not bad. However, because just like the entire process of moving like countries, like moving from Canada to like Japan, you're going to have to pay all these extra costs. Also, you're a foreigner, so not have as you might not have access to as many things or as many options as like Japanese people, because if you're a foreigner, like maybe a place won't want to rent to you, for example, and so you have to go to like a gaijin friendly or foreigner friendly apartment to rent from, which might cost more, for example. And also when you're moving, you have to move all your stuff around, you're gonna have to find a place, you're going to pay all those first time fees of gaining a new place. So there's all of those extra expenses that you have to add on. And I'm 23, I'm turning 24. So I've only started working full time, and like all these like expenses that to move and live on my own is definitely a significant amount. there's also that whole language barrier, because of course, like in Canada, there's not many people that speak Japanese here, and vice versa. If you go to Japan, pretty much everyone would speak Japanese there, and not many would actually speak English. English is actually a very low level in Japan. Some people might think because Japan's such a developed country that they have to know English. Now, there is English everywhere. Like if you're in Tokyo, you'll see English everywhere, and if you don't know any Japanese, you can still get by. But if you want to talk to people, they won't actually know English. So yeah, you definitely have to know Japanese. Now, I've been studying Japanese for 3 years now, but I'm still only at like a basic conversation level. I'm just really bad at learning languages. It's just not something I'm good at. So I take a lot longer to absorb language learning than what other people is. And also I can only speak English. I don't know any other Asian languages. So it's definitely a very slow and long process for me. So that is definitely going to be another barrier considering moving to Japan. So if I were to go back to Japan, there are numerous ways that I could go back, such as working holiday visa, a study visa, or maybe I could even be like an English teacher. Ideally, I would want to find a job in my expertise, which is like marketing, business, or if I start my own business, or because I do various side businesses as well. So if those develop further, then I could pursue that. But yeah, there's quite a few different options where I could possibly go back to Japan with. If you want me to talk more about those options of how you could go back to Japan, from what I found on my research, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll make a separate video for that. So yeah, what am I doing now basically? Because I've said that I wanted to go back to Japan, but realistically it might be a little bit difficult. So basically right now, I am working full-time. I'm also doing a bunch of different side stuff, like I create content here on YouTube, make gaming videos, I live stream. I also have various other side businesses that I'm working on. So I'm basically working on those things, trying to save up money, because like I said, it is quite expensive to make the move. In terms of Japanese itself, I'm still studying. I'm not studying as much as I would like, and I really should be studying harder. All the side hustles, the full-time job and stuff, they take quite a bit of time. However, yeah, I do need to spend more time studying harder. I do study every day, but it is quite light compared to what I've done in the past. I do want to take the JLPT N2 the next time it's available. It did get cancelled for the December period, which I think definitely killed a lot of my motivation to study really hard, because we don't know when the pandemic is going to end. We don't know when the JLPT is going to be takeable again. So if I were to go back to Japan, and when would I make the move? I would say it really does depend. Ideally, I wanted to go back within like a year, but it might take 2 or 3 years. So if anyone was thinking about moving to Japan or having experience like a study abroad in Japan, I'd highly recommend it, and I could talk more about my experiences studying abroad in a separate video. But yeah, I really like living there, and I do want to go back someday. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel for more lifestyle videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.